Working on craftiness. Tell me if I'm wrong, because I'm always interested in learning from you guys. To me, the balance that you play with is the most fundamental part, or foundational, I should say, part of what you do.
I've worked on it since high school. I think I got really, I don't want to say I mastered it, but I got really good at it in college. I know how to play with 2 feet. I just know how to kind of balance myself in a league full of tremendous athletes, guys who can jump out the gym, touch top of the backboards, run a 40-yard dash under 4 seconds if they really wanted to. Like, how can I be successful knowing that I can't do that? So I kind of have to counteract their athleticism or their strength or their quickness, or their speed, just by slowing it down. So not being able to be sped up, not being able to kind of get pushed off my path. And so it may be boring just because I'm not like jumping that high, or I'm not like blazing around you with speed or whatever. But the one thing that's consistent is if I know I want to get to that spot, I'm gonna find a way to get to that spot. I'm gonna do what I want at that spot. And then either I'm gonna make it or miss it, and you can't really do anything about it. If you block it, you did your job. But for me, I'm just like, I know what I can do, I know what I'm capable of, so I just know how, not really how, but I know that I can use counter and counter and counter to get to where I want to go to do what I want.
See, but the counter game requires a level of patience that I think, to your point, if you have been able to rely on athleticism, you don't develop the patience required to be able to layer those counters.
Yeah. Like if I'm taller, or if like you said, more athletic, like I would have to work on those things that I do now more than I did already, because it's different.
All right, with that said, let's check out some of these counters and these layers. The footwork here is what jumped out to us.
DiVincenzo into the corner, Brunson.
Rocket defense, splendid defense, folks. Going to the ball, double teaming.
Here's Brunson.
Off balance is balance for me. Mm-hmm. Like uncomfortable is comfortable for me.
Okay.
And so, that's probably a little lucky at the same time, but like, I don't work on falling down and shooting those type of shots, but like, I feel like the work I've put in, like when it comes to strength, when it comes to balance, when it comes to all that stuff, like it all comes together in moments like that, where like you're not just like praying for it to go, and you're like, all right, you're using everything you have to still focus to try and make that shot. And then it's definitely still a little luck too.
How many moves are in this particular play from you?
First move, so we're relocating to the corner. Mm-hmm. That's 1. Using a ball screen, I guess that's 2. Mm-hmm. Isolation right here, 3. Step back off, 4.
Grant with 6 points to start. Now it's Brunson, slow offensively so far. Got it away and banked it down. He just flicked that one at the basket. And somehow...
Okay, younger players always going to try to like make the stop. Mm-hmm. So when I shot fake, if I shot fake a younger guy, I know like I could probably most likely get a foul or get him in the air. And so no matter who it is, but like obviously the more veteran guys or whatever, they're not biting on it. They're just like, they know how you play. You played against them so many times already. They're like, no, I'm not going to bite on it. Maybe once in a while, but more times than not, no.
You say that, but even when there are veteran defenders on you, like we talked about, your counters, your pump fakes, your patience, you still find a way.
I'll find a way, yeah. Everything's a read, like knowing where the defense is positioned, knowing how much space you got off of them. If you want to close that gap with like a shot fake and a step through. But when there's like a longer defender in me with obviously like a bigger wingspan, and so he's more susceptible to not fall for shot fakes. He's not going to jump or whatever, because he can use his length to disrupt, whether he blocks it or not. He can use his length to disrupt anything. But when it's a player who's maybe not as tall, but similar in stature of me and whatever, I just know that like I can use my physicality to kind of knock him back to whatever, to kind of get him to be the aggressor for 1 second, and that's so I can get a foul or something like that. But I just try and find ways.
You do. It works.
It works most of the time. Sometimes I look like an idiot when I don't get the foul call. But
And when you came to the Knicks, Clyde, you had also been drafted by Denver in the ABA at the time.
Right, that was the first round pick, 1967.
Brunson and the foul.
This is a terrific team, and y'all were balling this day. And KCP is no slouch as a defender, and you are now in the gut of the paint where the help is supposed to be in position. Like, that's over Jokic ultimately.
I would say, the way Julius cuts kind of helps me, first of all, because KCP has to kind of help on that, because it looks like I'm going to give him the ball. And so he bites on it a little bit, and I just kind of know I have him. Obviously, when I turn back, he's not there. I have him, whatever. But I think one thing basketball players should really learn, no matter what position you play, is like post work, because that's where the footwork comes from. And so, obviously, you work on your pump fake, your step throughs, and all that stuff, like working off 2 feet and all that. Works on your touch around the rim. And so, when you're driving the basketball, good defenders are going to cut you off. You're not going to be able to get to the rim all the time. And so, do you just stop and throw some whatever on the rim, or do you take your time and figure out how can I maneuver myself to get a good quality shot, maybe defended, but it's gonna be quality. You're gonna be on balance, and you're gonna act like you've been there before. And so, I just remember when I was younger working on stuff like that, not really knowing that it was gonna translate to when I'm actually driving the ball and like stepping through and being in the lane, and maybe not being on the block, but I'm at the elbow doing that stuff, and then all of a sudden the defender's out of the picture and I'm shooting a floater at the rim. It's kind of, I'm at that point where I just want to react. I don't want to think, all right, I'm going to do this and this and this, and I hope this happens. Like, no, I want to find a way to get to that spot or get downhill, and if you cut me off, I got something for you that I've worked on. And so I'm never really kind of going into things, well, I try not to go into things like premeditating what I'm going to do. I kind of just use my instinct on the things I've worked on all my life.
The magic is in the work.